Hey, what's up everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is the Haves and the Have-Nots Season 6, Episode 21, and the name of this episode is Moles. Man, a whole lot is happening right now on this show, and I can't wait to see what's about to transpire, because quiet as kept, there's supposed to be a few deaths, by the end of this season, and we definitely got one tonight, and I'm going to talk about it, so let's begin. The episode picked up where it left off. Benny has been arrested, for supposedly assault and attempted murder at the Iron Bone with Uncle Vinny. And the damn cops is telling this stupid asshole to not resist. And why the hell is he resisting? And they all, like both Candace and Hanna, is trying to let him know, Benny, calm down. Just go down there, don't resist. Don't resist. And I'm like, dude, with all these issues of police brutality going on, like, you need to play it cool. And Benny is just resisting. Like, you giving them a reason to mess you up. And it's like, Benny, use your brain. But then again, as I said before, Benny was that little boy with the dirty pamper, eating, Captain Crunch with no milk, watching cartoons. And you wonder why he's always in some shit, because he's crazy. And he's stupid as hell. So we see that eventually they finally get Benny in the car, but Benny definitely was doing a lot. And I'm like, dude, you can't do nothing. Nothing you do right now is gonna change the situation. So you resisting and you giving them a reason to do something to you is not smart. So he finally pulls off, and then we see that Candace and Hanna go back and forth. Hanna, Candace is like wondering what the hell is going on. And Hannah's like, this none of your business, I ain't telling you nothing. And they just go back and forth. And Hannah's like, and Candace was like, look, I'm really concerned, this is my brother. And she's like, you don't care about your brother, all you care about is money. That's all you want, and you just using him to get what you want. And then like Candace did say, like, eventually Candace was like, look, I need that money, one, we can use it to get him out of jail and all that. She's like, I'm not giving you that money, and I'm going to turn it over to the feds, because I know you done did something dirty to get it. I ain't giving you nothing. And Candace was like, look, either you're going to give me that money, or I'm going to make you give me that money, because you really don't want to see how evil I can be. And Hannah was like, well, give me your best shot. And like, get the hell out of here. And she's like, and then Candace was, and the Candace clap back, was like, you would rather be a slave and work for this white woman and live in this white woman's house than to have your own? And she's like, I'm an honest woman, I work. And Candace was like, I work too. She's like, selling your ass is not a job. She's like, actually it is. I'm like, gotta agree with you, Candace. I mean, yeah, you don't have to fill out an application, and you don't have to fill out a W-4 and all of that, but at the end of the day, you gotta show up and you gotta perform in order to get that pay. So yeah, it's a job, but it's pretty much a black market job, I would say. But yeah, so pretty much afterwards, Candace like literally threatens her mother and says that, look, you don't want to see how evil I can get. And then after that, we see that she gets on the phone, she talks to RK and tells RK that she wants him and Gia to to actually get some things set up so she can make some money. Of course, RK's like, but I thought you had money set up. She's like, look, don't worry about that. But, I need some money set up, and I need you to make some moves. And then she also told him that, I need you to call, Big Sal or someone else. Like, I need some heavy hands. And RK was like, for what? And she said, for my mother. So I'm like, Candace, you have completely become so entrenched with getting this damn money that you about to mess up your own mother. But I'm saying, hey, she told her that, look, you either gonna give me the money or I'm gonna make you give it to me. So, yeah, so Hanna doing the most, as usual. And now you done put yourself in danger by fucking with Candace. And right now, Candace is a loose cannon. She doesn't give a damn about anybody. And she's all about what she wants. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. So, we also get a scene between Erika and David. Now remember, Erika is trying to get pregnant because she's ovulating. You know, and we saw her on the last episode, she had talked to Rocky. Well, David finally comes back home. She done run them a nice bubble bath with rose petals in the bath with the bubbles. And she also has champagne, you know, with orange juice so they can make mimosas. They get into the tub and pretty much, Erika's like, look, I just want us to relax and not talk about our crazy exes and all of that. But then this leads David to tell her she needs to be extremely careful and that he raised the bar. So, of course, she's like, what the hell are you talking about? He let to be known, I hit Veronica. I told her to stop messing with Jeffrey. And next thing I know, she took me there and I just snapped. And he says, I know what you've been through, what being in an abusive relationship. And, I understand if you feel some kind of way, but I wanted to tell you the truth that, yeah, I allowed myself to do that and I feel so bad. Well, Erika let to be known that, look, you need to forgive yourself, and he says, I don't think I can. I was supposed to be her protector and now I hit her. But then she had to give him that wake-up call that, yeah, but let's realize she has done a lot to put you in that position. Burning, blowing up the cars, breaking up the table, amongst all the other things she's done to you. At the end of the day, you're not an abuser, David. I've been with an abuser and I know what an abuser is. She abused you. And I know you feel bad, but she lets him know that, look, you need to forgive yourself and you need to understand that everything's going to be okay. And then she says, I love you. And he says he loves her too. And the next thing you know, they were busting suds up in that tub. And that tub was big too. I was like, shoot, when I get my big house, I want me a big old tub like that too. I was like, shoot, I want to bust some suds in the future my damn self. But yeah, they started busting suds, and all of a sudden it turned from the have and the have-nots to erotic confessions. I was like, ooh, yes. Oh, how far are they going to go? I'm just playing. But yeah, I was getting that tease. Like, I was getting like Zane and erotic confessions and, some of those, X-rated movies they used to show on HBO and Cinemax on the late night. Hey, ain't no shame in my game. I've seen them. So yeah, I was getting that. I was like, okay, Tyler, I see you going with this. So yeah, they was getting it in. I mean, it was passionate. And I was like, ooh. And the thing about it, David don't even realize that this bitch is setting him up. She's trying to get you up in her so she can get knocked up. So then we see Veronica. Veronica done got a hitman out to take out David and Erika. And she also got a tracking device to find out where Melissa is. Because she actually gave them the address and that she's going to be there and they're going to, get her, put, Melissa in a psychiatric ward. Because we know that she has tracking devices on both Jeffrey and Melissa. And I think you ain't the only, I don't think Veronica's the only one with a tracking device on Jeffrey. And I'm going to get to that. So so the guy comes in and she lets him know who the target is. And she says, I want them both done and I want it explosive. And she was just being rude and condescending like shit to this guy. But the guy was kind of intrigued by her. Like, when he asked, like, look, I'm going to need a little something, up front before I do this. So she literally takes the money and throws it at him. And I'm like, you disrespectful bitch. you want this man to do something for you, but yet you just as condescending and evil as you want to be. And then all of a sudden he's kind of flirting and was like, you know, I really like that dark side. It's just turning me on. And she's like, man, you can't do nothing for me with your broke ass. And I'm like, but you can tell Veronica was kind of liking it though. She was liking the attention. And then all of a sudden you see him walk away and he gives this look like, oh yeah, he trying to get at her. And he just is crazy because he's an assassin. So, you know, obviously he got that, he loves danger. And obviously Veronica is danger. If you ever seen it in person, Veronica equals danger. Then we see afterwards she gets a call from RK. RK saying, I want to see you again and I'm just checking in on you. And she's like, look, I am not in the mood to be nobody's sugar mama. You need to go somewhere with that shit. And she hangs up on him. So then we see that RK and Gia are at the bar at the Artesian. You know, we actually see that they're pretty much going back and forth, and he talks about, you know, he's telling her about his little soiree with Veronica or whatever, and like, of course, you know, G is trying to get more information, and he's like, girl, it's none of your business, you know. And then you know, if anything, remember, we just recently found out that Gia is actually an informant working with the feds. So she tells him about Rocky or whatever, and that, you know, Rocky got beat up really bad, you know, and that, you know, somehow Candace had found out that somebody had said something about Rocky, you know, Rocky betraying her. So when he came into the room, she beat his ass down, and we saw that she fucked Rocky up. But then we see Rocky comes in. Rocky's all bruised up and everything, and he wants to talk to RK. And he asks RK, like, you know, somebody crossed me up and, you know, gave me up to Candace. You know, do you know anything about that? He's like, nah, man, I don't know anything. And he was saying that, look, I know you like Candace, but don't trust that bitch. And he was like, look, I'm Team Rocky. I've always been Team Rocky and shit. So we see that that's damn RK is playing on Team Candace and Team Rocky. So I'm like, RK about to get fucked up big time, because now you really playing with fire. Oh yeah. But then also we also saw, like, before that happened, you know, RK and Gia was talking, and, you know, RK was like, man, I'm trying to get this big score, and I'm about to make my dreams happen. I'm getting the hell up out of here, going to LA, and I'm gonna be a big star, so you better get my autograph now. And you know, Gia was like, I had big dreams too, but here I am still stuck in Savannah. He's like, yeah, but I'm not you. I'm like, yeah, you not her, but at the end of the day, you full of your damn self, and that can be your demise, RK. So then we actually, so then we actually found out. So afterwards, you know, that's when he called Candace, and, you know, Candace told him that, you know, to call, you know, Big Mike and Henry on her mom. But then he asked about Rocky. She was like, yeah, I beat his ass. And then he was like, well, what about Veronica? And she was like, you need to leave that old bird alone. She's crazier than I am. But he's like, yeah, but I like that fire. I'm like, see, RK, you asking to get fucked up. Because, yeah, you may be slick and you are conniving, because we definitely seen how you played old boy, and you got, like, you know, I think like 15,000 from old boy from that last mark you had. But bruh, you still wet behind the ears, and the games you playing, there's people out here who are playing the same game but on a different level. So, but, you know, RK's naive. So we definitely see, I mean, definitely I saw that, you know, within the episode. Okay, he's doing too damn much. Then we actually see that we get a scene with Sarah and Jim. And that damn Jim is on some bullshit. Sarah. I'm like, if you don't take your sick, twisted ass on somewhere, Jim, messy ass motherfucker. Anyway, but Sarah's like, you know, he's asking Sarah, is there more evidence? And she's saying that, you know, everything, I gave you everything. She's like, he says that, look, I want it all, you know. And she says that, look, the only evidence we got is Wyatt. And he says that, look, I'll handle Wyatt. And she's like, handle him? What do you mean? He's like, girl, please, that's my son. I'm not gonna kill him, but I got him under control. So therefore he's like, but I want everything. I don't want this to come back and bite me in no way, shape, or form. So I want everything. So either you give me everything or I'm going to start demanding things, you know, from you. So she decides to drop the bomb and lets him know that, oh yeah, this is also something this is something you also need to know. That little whore that you messing with down at the hotel, she's an informant, you know, working with the DA's office, and pretty much she's there to get information from you and Candace, because the feds are looking into you guys. And there's a prostitution ring that's actually running within the Artesian, and you know, Rocky is like one of the people that's a part of it. So she literally gives him the whole tea about what's going on. So he pretty much says that, okay, thank you very much, you've been a good girl. So then we see that at the Artesian, Jeffrey shows up and has a drink or whatever. And RK was like, hey, don't I know you? And he's like, I don't think so. He's like, you don't remember me? He's like, no, I don't think. He's like, no, I don't. He's like, remember we were in prison together? He was like, nah, I don't remember. He was like, maybe I'm wrong. But I'm like, RK know he saw your ass, and Jeffrey just being on some bullshit. But then we see that after he gives him a drink, RK goes to G and says that yo, 5 o'clock over there at the bar, he got nice shoes, he got a nice watch and everything, go work his ass. So Gia goes over there and tries to work him or whatever, you know, tries to flirt with him and all that. And she asks him, so she's like, I'm Gia. And he was like, okay. And she's like, so what's your name? And he says, I'm Gay. And she's like, oh, hey, Gay, nice to meet you. I'm like, this bubble-headed bitch? Really? And he was like, no, I'm gay and I'm not interested. So she's like, well, okay, you know. And she was just kind of looking like, so sad though, damn. I was like, Gia, take your ass on. So then RK comes back and he was like, he's like, I apologize for her. She throws herself on every guy that comes in here. He's like, yeah, it's fine, it's okay. But he was like, so are you married? And he was like, no, I'm not married. He's like, so why you ain't trying to hit that, bro? I mean, she kind of bad. Like, why you ain't trying to hit that then? And he confesses to RK that he's gay. And he was like, I figured that. And he's like, how you figure that? He's like, it's my gaydar, man. I just kind of got that vibe from you. And he was like, then Jeffrey's like, so are you gay? And he's like, yeah. And I think you cute. You know, so then we see that this fool starts, you know, trying to give Jeffrey free drinks and shit, and he's drinking vodka straight with no chaser, and he's trying to, you know, give him drinks on the house and all that. So I'm like, RK, you trying to get him lit up so you can take advantage of him. But then again, I'm kind of thinking that, you know, I'm thinking that RK is bisexual, you know, but there's a certain type of guy he goes for, you know, and he's definitely probably one of those types that that are like, you know, what they call gay for pay. I think I get that vibe from RK, and I could be completely wrong, but that's what I'm getting from him. So all of a sudden, you know, he's trying to make moves against he's trying to make moves on Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's like, dude, you too pushy and you too aggressive. And he was like, And he's like, so what's the problem? He's like, yeah, he said the problem is that, you know, you doing too much. And he was like, look, you don't have to really do anything. Just let me do everything. I handle everything. I got you, baby. And I'm like, RK is really laying it on thick. So then he was like, hey, you know, so let's won't you you know, go upstairs and I'll come up there and visit you. And he's like, that's not gonna happen. He says that, hey, after a few cocktails we'll talk about it then. But then he says that, but that's okay, you can take that drink upstairs, and due to the fact that I built it to your room, I know what your room is, I'll be up to see you later. I was like, oh shit, RK and damn Jeffrey. But little do you, because he even asked him, you know, are you with somebody or whatever. He's like, you being real forward. He's like, hey, I see what I want and I go after it. I'm like, RK is like, yo, you are really putting yourself in the middle of a lot of shit. And we already know that Glenn Close is got a tracking device on Jeffrey. So no matter where Jeffrey goes, Glenn Close gonna show up, letting everybody know that Jeffrey's her man. Just saying. And I'm gonna get on that motherfucker too, because after what I seen in this episode, Justin has got to go. So yeah. So then we actually see that while they're at the bar talking, you know, we see that Jim finally comes in and he runs into Gia, and he pretty much she pretty much says like, oh, I've been waiting to see you again. And he was like, yeah, I got a room. So she's like, okay. So they go up to the room, and while, you know, on the way to the room, he runs into Oscar, and he lets Oscar know that, look, you need to hurry up and get my damn money. What the hell is going on? He's like, look, I haven't gotten the money back yet. I'm trying to get it, you know, but, you know, Candace, I'm trying to find Candace. And he was like, how the hell did you let this bitch trap you like that? And we actually know what happened. She drugged him and got access to his information. And yeah, so pretty much he lets him know, like, look here, look here, son of a bitch. So like I don't know what has David told you about me? He's like, I'm not talking about the fucking version that you get when you Google my name or what they say in the press. I can be an evil son of a bitch when I'm crossed. And he's like, well, David told me that too. So he says, yeah. So I'm gonna let you know, you better find that bitch and give me my fucking money, or there will be problems. And he was like, look, I don't like being threatened, and, you know, I'm gonna get you your money. Next thing you know, we see that damn David, you know, punched the shit out of Oscar. And he's like, you got 24 hours to get me my shit, or I'm gonna handle that ass. And he's like, you gonna do something? And that damn Oscar ran off. I'm like, Jim crazy as shit. So we see that he takes Gia into the room. Gia thinking that they about to get it in or whatever, but then he's like, you know, I got some questions for you. You know, and depending on how you answer these questions will determine how things are going to go from here on out. So he begins to ask her, so what do you know about Candace Young? And she was like, excuse me? He's like, don't play dumb, sweetheart. I know you're an informant working with the DA's office. And, you know, what did you tell them about me? And he's like, I haven't said anything about you at all. You haven't told me anything. And she's saying, you wearing a wire? And she's like, well, no, I haven't been wearing a wire. You saw me naked, remember? He was like, yeah, but why aren't you wearing a wire? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, bitch, don't play games with me. Why weren't you wearing a wire? And then she confesses that the plan was that she was supposed to get him comfortable with her, and once he's comfortable, then she was going to start wearing a wire. So after that, he pretty much lets her know that there's going to be a change of plans here. We now have a new arrangement. yeah, you will no longer be getting any money, but what you're going to do is you're going to take your clothes off. And she was like, I'm not taking off my clothes. And she's like, I got to go. He's like, you're not leaving this room until I say you leave this room. And she's like, Jim, please. And she's like, say please one more time. Say please one more time. And she's like, Jim, please don't do this. Next thing you know, he grabs her from the back and pins her down. And from the looks of it, he straight up raped her ass. So I'm like, ooh, this is going to be some shit. So I'm like, damn Jim. Jim just wilding the fuck out. Like, we're really seeing the real evil bastard that Jim really is. And I will be so happy when Jim gets his shit. Because Jim has been a bully since the moment we met him. And Jim needs to be checked. Big time. So we saw that go down. Now, this is the shit I'm going to talk about. You know, Wyatt is literally fiending up in the psychiatric ward. He's still in the straitjacket. And he's pretty much telling the nurse, I need a fix. I need a fix. And she was like, look, I can't do anything for you. I have to wait till the doctor gets back and we'll decide, you know, what the next move is. But right now, I cannot give you anything. And he was like, well, fine. And so she's like, look, I gotta go. And, you know, and I'm gonna get the doctor. She's like, well, fine. If you can't do nothing for me, get the hell out of here. I'm like, see, that's Jim's son. Because that's exactly how Jim is. Jim is so damn entitled and so used to smelling his own ass. He think he can just talk to people any kind of way. And then the next thing you know, we think the damn doctor's coming in. And it's that motherfucking Justin, a.k.a. Glenn Close. Glenn Close is on some other shit. And she's like, well, hey. And he's like, man, get the hell out of here. I don't want to talk to you. What the hell you doing here? And he's like, you know, nurse. And he's like, you can scream all you want to, but ain't nobody going to answer because nobody here likes you. You know, but he says that I got an idea, though. I can get my belt and hang it there from the ceiling. And you can hang yourself. I mean, you do want to kill yourself, don't you? And he's like, yo, get the hell away from me. Just leave me alone. Why are you doing this? And then he begins to sit there and starts telling him that, you know, the reason is, he's like, I haven't even done nothing to you. Why do you keep fucking with me? And he was like, because, you know, I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to, you know, stop you from getting in between me and Jeffrey. And Wyatt's like, dude, I'm not gay. I've told you that. And Jeffrey and I are just friends. What the fuck is your problem? He's like, my problem is that he still is in love with you. He's still smitten with you. He lights up every time you call. And every time, you need him, he jumps to come to your safety. And I just can't, for the life of me, understand what is it about you that he just can't break away from you. and like, you know, from the looks of you, I don't understand what the hell he's seeing you. And then we see that he grabs Wyatt by his groin, and Wyatt's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just checking. It's pretty nice, but I'm bigger. I'm like, and then this fool did the unthinkable when he pulled out some damn heroin and tried to get him to get Wyatt to get high in the fucking psychiatric ward, and then had the spoon and had the lighter to cook it and everything. I'm like, see, Justin's ass needs to be canceled. He needs to be fucking canceled because, dude, you are going too fucking far. This boy has an addiction, and that's the reason why Jeffrey set him up in that psychiatric ward, because he needed to be there because Wyatt's fucking insane and he's got that junkie itch. And here you are about to give him some drugs. And the good thing about it, Wyatt was rejecting him because he knows that Justin doesn't mean any goodwill to him. And he probably got a lethal bag where probably as soon as he takes it, he's gonna OD and he'll die. So really, he's trying to kill Wyatt, which is obvious. And he's just like, you sure you don't want this? You know, you sure you don't want this? And I'm just like, and then as soon as he's about to light it, that's when the nurse came in. She said, sir, You're not supposed to be in here this long. And then all of a sudden, you know, Wyatt, being the damn junkie that he is, it's like, oh no, let him stay. He's my friend. You know, let him stay. And he's like, well, I would stay, but she told me I had to leave. I'm like, see, Justin, aka Glenn Close, needs to be put the fuck down. And I've been telling this shit to that dumbass Jeffrey. The longer he's around, the more of a problem he's going to be. There is no slowing this bitch down. She is going to try to rid everyone out of your life until you give her what she wants. And Glenn Close is not going to give up her black meat for anybody. So we definitely see that go down. Oh yeah, and then we also saw that Hanna and Kathryn ran into each other, you know, at the police station. Hannah's there because, you know, Benny's there, and that she said that, you know, he got arrested, you know, about what happened down at that bar, and, you know, I know Benny had nothing to do with this. And we know Kathryn's face just completely changes because she knows damn well who was behind it, and she knows that Wyatt was the one who did that shit. Next thing you know, she also tells her that Marty's on the way and all of that. But then afterwards, she's like, look, Hanna, I would love to talk to you some more, but I gotta go, and I got some things to take care of. We see that Kathryn goes in the car, and she breaks down because she sees again Wyatt and Benny are caught up in a situation where Wyatt has done some bullshit, and Benny is the one taking the fall. But we're gonna see what she's gonna do next week in regards to that situation. Then we see that Candace is at the Artesian, and she's talking to RK, and she's saying that, look, and of course RK's like, girl, do you think it's safe that you're here? You know, you got, you know, and she's asking, like, have you seen Oscar or anybody like that, anybody like that on going through the hotel? And he's like, nah, I haven't seen him, but do you think it's smart for you to be here? And she's like, don't question me. I know what I'm doing. But all I need you to do is be my eyes and ears. So she see her walk, and she says that, is there anybody watching me? And he's like, no, nobody sees you. So we see that that damn Oscar gets into the elevator. And once the elevator opens, Candace is in the damn elevator, and he goes off and he whoops her ass. Like, he literally, like, does a few punches, slams her up across the, you know, across the sides of the damn elevator. And then we see that he literally has her, you know, because he done messed her ass up. So he's dragging her, and people, like, walk past him. He let them know that, oh, she just had too much to drink at the bar. They get into the room, they go back and forth, he's slapping her and shit and saying, where the fuck is the money? He goes into her purse. I'm like, you think you're gonna have that 8+ million gonna be in that damn purse, Oscar? Really? So he's going crazy. He's like, where the hell is the money, Candace? And because he knows that Jim gonna kill his ass if he don't get that damn money back. And she's like, look, Oscar, calm down. And, you know, he's just getting all rough and shit. And the next thing you know, he walks away. Candace goes behind him, pushes him so hard that this fool goes through the damn glass and falls to his death. So we got death number 1. Oscar is dead. Finito. He's finished. But now it's like, okay, what are you going to do now, Candace? Now you got a body on your hands. And, you know, we definitely know there's cameras, you know, in the hallway. So the question is, what the hell happened? Because, you know, all of a sudden we see him dragging her into the room. So yeah, this is gonna be some shit. And we already know that the feds are after her. And we know there's an informant by the name of Gia that's supposed to be getting some information. But I don't think Gia is gonna be that much useful now, because after Jim done did what he did to her, I don't think she's gonna be informing any damn body. So we just have to keep watching to see what's gonna go down. But that's my review, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with the next episode of the Haves and Have-Nots. I have to say, this was a good episode, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I'm at the edge of my seat. So, Tyler, you better make me proud, bruh. So, until next time, everybody, take care.